Okay, so this is Astro Conversations today, guys. I want to go over the Gladys Ricart. I've tried to do this several times. Like I explained before, like I even explained to my friend the other day, um, while we were chilling, was that this has been on my mind for quite some time. I mean, since the day that this story came out back in 1999, I've never forgot about this woman. Okay. And if anybody out there, if you know anything about domestic violence, narcissism, toxic relationships, whether you're a man or a woman, you know, like I know, that it could get really bad. It could get really bad when you find yourself in a relationship that is toxic and it's overdue. Okay, it's over the time limit that you should have gotten out of it, but you find yourself still in it because for whatever reason you're still trying to see the good in it, even though everybody around you, okay, including your heart, knows, sees, and feels that this relationship is toxic, is damaging. At one time it looked like it was thriving, but it's gotten to the point where it's disrespectful, it's heartbreaking, and if you don't get out in time, it's designed to destroy you. Okay, so I'm gonna see if I can play this video, and if I don't hear any sound, then I'm just gonna go ahead and let that go. But let's see. Okay, well it appears that the sound is not going to cooperate. So I am just going to have to talk over the video. And what I'll do is I'll slow it down so we can have some type of vision. And please excuse the background. I am in New York City right now. So you're going to hear a lot of noise, a lot of movement, and all these things because it's a city that never sleeps. And it is hot as hell in New York City right now. So I have the terrace open. So sorry about that. Hopefully, you guys can hear me good. But I want to talk to you guys about this. Like I said, this has been bothering me for a very, very, very long time. And I want to get through this. Okay. I want to find out some stuff. And I'm sorry, for those who may have these elements in your chart. I just want to go ahead and make something clear. Let me go ahead and slow this down a little bit more. Okay. Let me go ahead and make myself clear before I begin this channel. Okay. Everything that I do on this channel is because of my own investigation. Okay. The things that I find out about astrology on this channel is based upon my opinion, nobody else's. Okay. It's information that I've gathered that I want to share on a loudspeaker. And it's things that I'm interested in because there's certain things that I feel that in the chart, especially if you're involved in astrology, that if you're dating, if you're looking to get married, have children, if you have children or whatever the situation is, if you want to invest financially into something with someone, I feel that astrology is a really great tool for entertainment purposes. Okay, not for the all in all. This is not the Bible. This is not the one stop shop. Drop it like it's hot. There's no other thing that you should believe in or trust in other than this. This is not what it's about. It's more so occultism, science, spiritual science, something to do with spirituality. Let me go ahead and put a disclaimer real quick before I even continue, because this is very important that I say this, because I don't want, you know what I'm saying, anybody to join in, listen in, and then they get offended or they get distracted or they feel insulted because I say things that are not of their alignment, and it's foreign, it's new to them, they don't like it. Just let me go ahead and put myself, let me go ahead and make something very, very clear right now to you about how I get down on this channel and the things that I believe in. Okay, the disclaimer is, if I curse, if I carry on, if I call people names, this is just how I get down. That's how I talk. Okay, I don't work for corporate America, I don't work for anybody, and this is the way I do things on this channel. So if you're looking for that streamlined corporate America, I'm a nun sitting in the church and we have to pardon you in 2019 when shit is just so chaotic, this is not the channel for you. Okay, that's number one. Number two, um another thing with my channel is that I'm very heavy on spirituality. I haven't really dived in as deep as I wanted to because I realize that there are certain people that don't really understand, or probably will never understand, where I'm coming from when I talk about things like voodoo, okay? The evil eye, people who do witchcraft on you, okay? Omens, um, spirits, certain things that I see, um that it's not of the world, it's not of the world, okay? It's very spiritual, and there's certain signs and symbols that catches my attraction. If you not about that, and you about Instagram, and you about what people tell you, and you believe in that, and you don't know about the Holy Ghost and voodoo and witchcraft and how people could put spells on you, evil eye, certain synchronicities, certain events that will warrant, okay, evil spirits and evil things that come into your life. Just, I'm here to tell you right now, don't waste your time listening from this point on, because this right here is not going to be for you, okay? Especially this channel. And I want to make sure that I get this clear and I put this on the record, because I don't got time for people who don't understand where I'm coming from. Okay. So these are the kinds of things that I believe in. And the reason why I believe in them is because I've said it before. I have been in environments, okay, that unfortunately, you know what I'm saying, to my surprise, I came across an environment where there were things within that environment that had innocent people's items. I mean, whether that be a hairbrush, their hair, their underwears, pictures of them. This is way before Instagram, guys. I've seen this. Okay, this is why I'm not a fan of Instagram. This is why I have not came out on YouTube. This is why I'm not really comfortable with being in the public dealing with people, because way before Instagram, way before Facebook, way before social media started to pop and drop the way it's dropping right now, these are the things that I've seen people take from other people and bring to these places of worship, places of, where they do rituals, places where they cast spells upon people to bring about energy that was negative and would cause a division in their relationship, at their job, in their life, or whatever. And I always knew that you had to be very, very careful of the people that you invite to your home, um, the people that you invite into your environment. And you have to be extremely careful when you're dealing with special events like birthdays, weddings, graduations. Anything that deals with a situation that's going to warrant people within your family and close friends that you think want to see the good for you, and you invite them in this event, and these people are sitting there with evil hearts, evil minds, an evil thought that they hope that you don't make it, and they just don't want to see good for you, even though they may have a beautiful smile on their face and they come across like a warm, loving person. In their heart, okay, in their heart, it ain't like that. Okay, they don't want to see you successful at all. Okay, and it's a shame because you'll find that when you're dealing with spirituality and you're dealing with astrology and you go deep into the spiritual science, you may find that your own enemy sometimes could be your mother, your father, your sister, your brother. And in a case like this, which I'm going to go into it with you guys, it could even be your own man, your own woman. Okay, it could be your ex-boyfriend, ex-girlfriend, who when you was in a relationship with them, you had nothing but stress and worry. They was playing you left, right, and center. They stressed you out when you was with them. They was talking about how unhappy they was with, while you was with them. They hated your guts. You know what I'm saying? You're in a relationship with this person. They're consistently kicking you out, even though they so-called kind of want to build with you, but they don't, because they kind of like want to see you fall. So they kick you out, and they know that you have no place to go, no place to live, but they want to be in a relationship with you. But due to the fact that their ego is so big, is so toxic, is so narcissistic, that they kick you out for the littlest things because you don't obey their rules, or you don't do what they say, or they do shit to you that you can't even speak up, and they know that they have more money than you, or they have a place of sanctuary where you're going to go after work, and you want to go there if you're a man. I mean, I've told this to a lot of women, and I'm going to bring this up, and then I'm going to go into the Gladys Ricart thing. But I've told this to a lot of women, okay, who I know who are narcissistic and have a big ego. And what they will do is they will play upon this ego, and they will have a man, or they would agree for this man to live with them. And because of their ego, because they feel like the man is not giving them enough attention or whatever they're trying to get from this man, what they will do is they will start to kick the man out. And then before you know it, every weekend, every other day, every other, at least 3 or 4 times a month, this man is consistently getting kicked out of the home. Okay. And it's unfortunate because, a lot of men, especially from my ethnic group, there was some trials and tribulations that they went through in their life, and they may have came across the law and may have found themselves dealing with the judicial system, or find themselves serving time. And then when they get out, they have this vision that they're going to be productive, they're going to get themselves together, and they're going to conquer the world. But they realize, due to the fact that they have a record, you know or whatever, they have a stipulation on their record that is causing them a blockage in their life, to the point where they can't really make that much money, or they can't really move about the way that they want to move. So as a result, they end up living with certain women, okay? And they want to build with these women, but these women are narcissistic. They have a lot of damage in their life. um they don't really respect the men, and they play a lot of games, and those games include kicking the man out consistently to the point where they kind of want to be in a relationship with the man, but at the same time they want the man to fall, okay? And then they want the man to come back begging them please to let them in because they have nowhere to go, and they know that the man has nowhere to go, and they just have to consistently get kicked out and deal with this ego game. So I say that to say this because sometimes, whether you're a man or whether you're a woman and you're dealing with a scenario that's similar to the one that I just mentioned, when you're dealing with a narcissist and they have an ego or they have certain alignments in their astrology chart that will warrant this type of attitude, you're going to find yourself dealing with a person who has a bad character and likes to play power games, okay? And like I said, I mean, when you're dealing with a narcissist, you got to understand that in the beginning, they give you the illusion that they love you, they like you, they want to share the world with you, they want to build with you, they'll be faithful to you. Everything that you can dream of, they are that person. Okay. And the reason why a lot of people find themselves entrapped in a relationship with a narcissist is because they give it to you heavy. Okay. In the beginning, and it seems like you found your princess or your prince or your knight in shining armor, or you found the one that you've always been looking for, the perfect body, the perfect job, the perfect everything, and you just can't see yourself living without this person because you've never found anybody like this person. So this is how the narcissist, this is how they push it on you thick in the beginning, and it's very important that they thick you down. Okay. And like I said, I'm going to be cursing and stuff like that and probably using sexual language and stuff like that, so prepare yourself. But it's very, very important that they dick you down if you're a woman, because they know if they dick you down and they put that sex game on you that you never had from the average person before, because they overdo it. When you deal with a narcissist, they overdo everything in the beginning, okay? And they do that because, like bees to honey, they need to trap you, okay? So they dick you down, they give you flowers, candy, they show up, like I said, like the knight in shining armor. They give it to you thick in the beginning. And once they start to see that you're falling into their trap and you believe in the lies that they tell you, that's when they're going to flip on you. Okay. But it's going to take some time for you to get to that point, because narcissists know that they have to be consistent, because that's one of the keys in order to trap somebody when you're a manipulator, is that you have to be consistent. Okay. You have to continue to tell these lies until you get yourself in a power position where this person has now put you down as a third party on their credit, okay? Or you've signed your name so they can get credit or they can get some type of car or money or something. Or, you found yourself inviting this narcissist into your home, and you know what I mean, they're fully moved in and you're so in love, you're so blinded by the dick or the pom pom that you can't see anybody but that person. Um, so I mean, they get you to a point where there's nobody else but them. That's all you see is them. You don't see God, you don't hear God, you don't see your mom, you don't see your father, you don't even see your kids. Sometimes there's women and even men that get so engulfed in this narcissistic energy that they even disrespect their own mother and their father and their children, and they fucking leave their job, they leave their house, they leave everybody and everything behind because they're so in love with this narcissist that they themselves don't even see that they're leaving themselves behind. Let me tell you something. There's some people and I know them right now, and I'm not going to mention their names, and I see it. There's some people that's so deep with a narcissist right now that they are failing in life, and they're making up excuses why it's okay to fail. Okay? They're making up excuses why it's okay to not live like a normal human being, because it's something that they need to do for the narcissist, because they have to give up a part of themselves. They're sacrificing themselves in order to prove to the narcissist that they are a champion and they are loyal, and it is what it is, and they're going to give up everything for this narcissist. Let me tell you something. This is how deep and abusive narcissistic people can be. When a person has found themselves that deep within a narcissist, you have to understand that over time it took a lot of manipulation, coaching, and training from that narcissist to get this person to be so engulfed in the relationship that they don't even realize that they have basically one foot in the grave, okay, and one foot out. Okay. When you're dealing with a narcissist, you got to understand that this is how deep. Okay. This shit is deep. This shit is very, very dangerous. This is why they say when you're dealing with a narcissist, it's dangerous. Let me go ahead and stop playing this. It's getting on my nerves. Let me leave it right there. This is better. Well, that flickering and flaggering is fucking up my mind. Um I want you guys to understand that when I talk about a narcissist, this is not nothing that I'm playing with. See, a lot of the videos that's on YouTube, a lot of them have bells and whistles and colors and strawberries and cotton candy and a fucking clown outside, and they're making a mockery of this thing that is very serious and detrimental and consistently destroys people's lives, including innocent women, men, and children. And it's nothing to play with. It's a serious, serious thing. And I think a lot of people don't understand how deep this shit gets. And like I said before, and I'm going to say it again, that I didn't even know about this fucking disease, because it seems like this is a disease, like this narcissistic thing, because the shit is spreading like a disease. Because I don't believe that originally, because a lot of people are narcissistic, okay? And I'm just going to go ahead and keep it real. A lot of, even myself, may have narcissism inside of me. Everybody has an ounce of narcissism in them, and you need that. Unfortunately, especially during the year of 2019 and going beyond, and even before, in some type of degree, you need like some type of ounce of narcissism in order to function in the society. You can't tell me that you don't have an ounce of narcissism and you have Instagram and you have Facebook and you have Snapchat and you're dealing with social media where you're out here entertaining strangers that you know nothing about. But you put so much trust in these people because attention is worth more than the money. Because I'm going to go ahead and keep it all the way 1,000 with you guys. YouTube pays, but they don't pay that much. Okay? YouTube pays, but they don't pay that much. And the people who have are getting bank from YouTube trust and believe that they've sacrificed themselves to the point of disgrace in order to get that money. So YouTube pays, but it doesn't pay enough to the point where you're willing to put your life, your kids, everything out there on the line for crumbs on the table. So when you're dealing with a situation like that and you're getting crumbs on the table and it's not really adding up, that's when you could weigh the pros and the cons of this, and you realize that attention these days is worth more than currency. And when you're dealing with people who are in social media and they want attention, and they hide and they pretend that they're doing this because they're getting paid, it's nothing but a lie, because you ain't getting paid like that on YouTube. And I know that because I do YouTube, and it ain't like that. Okay. And if what you're getting paid for it in exchange to how you put yourself out there and have disrespected and have exposed your children, if that's what you consider a fair exchange, that's a problem. I'm not from that school. I'm not from this new school where you can't pay me enough to put my kids and everything out on the line for a couple of fucking crumbs on the table. Okay. This is me. I'm from that old school. I'm from that school. So with that being said, to a degree, people have narcissism within them, okay? Because there's something that they want. It's not, I mean, in their relationship, the relationship is not fulfilling them. Life in itself is not fulfilling them. So what they need to do is go online and put it all out there in order to garnish the attention that they need, just to see if somebody is listening, feeling, or hearing, or seeing them. That's narcissism. So everybody has it in them, but some people have it to the degree where it's extremely dangerous. And if you don't get out in time, I'm sharing a story. If you see this on your screen, if you don't get out in time, you could be as beautiful as Gladys Ricart. Gladys Ricart. Let me go over her chart real quick, since this is an astrology channel. Let me go ahead and get right into it. You could be as beautiful as Gladys Ricart, who, according to the information, she was a sun sign Libra. She had her moon in Leo, Venus in Scorpio, and Mars in Cancer. Okay. She was a life path number 5. And if I'm not mistaken, her ex boyfriend, Garcia Augustine, which is, where's this dog? Okay, I don't, let me find him. Yeah, him. His name is Garcia Augustine. He also was a life path number 5. Now, let me tell you something that's very interesting about Gladys Ricart and Garcia Augustine, is that both of them was a life path number 5, and both of them, had the letter G in their first name. So her name was Gladys, his name was Garcia, if I'm not mistaken. So let me go back to Gladys Ricart. So yeah, so Gladys Ricart, she was a beautiful woman. And like I said, when you're dealing with a narcissist, in the beginning, they are attracted to all your good qualities. They like everything that's good about you because they're attracted to success. Narcissistic people love success, and they love things that are materialistic, that's beautiful, that's big, that warrants a lot of attention. Because if they get with you and you have those qualities, then that's only going to incorporate them and that lifestyle, and then that's going to warrant attention to them. Okay, so it's very important that they're with people who are successful, who are beautiful, who have it going on, because as an exchange and as a sharing in that relationship, they'll be able to shine along with that person. But when you're dealing with a narcissist, that doesn't last long, because narcissistic people are extremely jealous of people. Okay, and they're jealous of people because they don't really have a lot to offer. Okay, they're very shallow people, and they shine and they thrive off of other people's backs. Okay, they hide behind shiny things. Okay, they hide behind the show that they put on for folk, and they not really about that life. Okay, They steal ideas from people, and they're very, 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 very jealous people. See, this is very important for you to know. If you are a woman or a man and you find out that you're in a relationship with a narcissist, you got to know off the grip. You got to know off the grip that your partner who is a narcissist is jealous of you. Okay? They are jealous of you. I'm going to go into it in a minute. They're very, very jealous of you. And, like I said, when they're with you, they don't like to be with you. Okay? When you're with them, they're going to tell you they hate you, they can't stand you, they're going to call you names, they're going to devalue you, they're going to cheat on you. And when you find out that they're cheating on you, they're going to say it's because you're disgusting, you're fat, you're ugly, you're hideous. There's something about you that's so fucking disgusting that they feel like they have to stay with you, but at the same time they're unhappy. So in order for them to kind of like make them happy, they got to cheat on you because they need to get fulfilled because they're so disgusted by you. Okay? But at the same time they don't want to let you go, and they've lowered your self-esteem so low that you feel like you can't go. This is what happens when you're dealing with a bona fide narc, okay? Not somebody that you're making up because you're mad and you want to call somebody a name. This is bona fide narcissism. This is how they think, this is how they get down, and this is how they roll, okay? So you could be a very beautiful person inside and out. You could have it going on financially. You can have everything that a person will dream of. You could have built yourself from the fucking ground where people sit and shit and spit on, and you get with a narcissist and you've built yourself up. And you could live in a mansion, you can have an empire, you can hold a business down, you could be a CEO for a company. And you can get with a narcissist who has nothing, not even a window to throw their piss out of. But they're so gassed up that they will not see the value in you and they will devalue you. And it's very important that they do that because they want you to have low self esteem, so low to the point where they will override you at some point. Because that's the whole goal, is to conquer you. Okay. Um, So I say that to say this is because I'm going to be mentioning some things in astrology. And I think I've told you guys before that I found out about narcissism through astrology. I didn't know about it because of anything else. I found out about it through astrology because I was doing some astrology on somebody's chart, and they had a lot of narcissistic traits, and the person came to me and they was fucking floored and they was done, and they wanted to know what was going on. And that's when I figured out, whoa, you know this person got narcissism. And that's when I started to discover about narcissism, and that's when I found out about the whole narcissism shit. I didn't even know about this back in the days. They didn't say narcissist. Back in my time, in the 90s and the 80s and the 70s, we didn't call these types of people narcissists. We called them crazy, psycho, bugged out, 730, fucked up creeps, bitches, hoes. That's what we called them. We didn't call them narcissists. Narcissist is a blanket name that you give to all those names that I just mentioned. We didn't call them narcissists back in the days. We called them somebody who you didn't want to fuck with back in the days. But now they got a nice, glamorous, soft kind of name that you give them. And, narcissists think that that's cute to be called a narcissist. That's what's going on these days. That's not what we knew about back in the days. Okay. But now they got this fancy name for them. And, people are kind of still kind of negotiating with the narcissist because the name narcissist, the word narcissist, it doesn't sound that bad. You know what I mean? But it's fucked up, just to keep it all the way 1,000 with you. So anyway, yeah, so Gladys Ricart, some of the things in her chart, it caught my attention because I really, really wanted to know why this happened to this woman. And I wanted to, go deeper into the science, um, in regards to this woman and her ex dirty boyfriend who was extremely jealous of her. Okay. And I wanted to know about her astrology. Okay. So, real quick, once again, Gladys and her ex-boyfriend, Garcia Augustine, both had the letter G in her name. Unfortunately, she passed September 26, 1999. I forgot to do the math on that. Hopefully, you guys who are into this, you will do the math and find out what the numerology energy is in regards to her death date. Her birthday was October 15th, I believe. Don't quote me. This is all from the internet. 1960. So, right, if she was still alive, if this jerk didn't kill her, because I believe she died like in her late 30s. Okay, and he was older than her. I think he was like maybe in his 50s when he had killed her, and she was in her late 30s. So she still was in her prime to have children. She still was in her prime to thrive. But due to the fact that he was so jealous of her, he didn't really want to be with her, because I'm going to do the astrology on his ass in a minute. He was a cheater, okay? And she found out about it, and she just got to the point where she realized that it didn't matter how good her sex was, how beautiful she was, how much money she had, how intelligent she was, how much of a great home that she provided for him. It didn't matter about any of those things. He was going to cheat regardless. Even though he didn't have no business cheating on her, he should have stopped and been glad that he found a winner. But again, when you're dealing with a narcissist, they devalue you so much that they even start to believe in their devaluation, to the point where they devalue their own. Okay, they devalue their own. When you're dealing with a narcissist, they devalue their own woman, they devalue their own man, they devalue their children, they devalue their home, they devalue their job, they devalue their friends, to the point where they don't even see value in anything but themselves. Real talk now. Real talk. They don't see shit in nobody but themselves. Like, they come out like, yo, I'm the shit of the shit, and everybody else around me, they ain't shit, and they just better be happy that I'm acknowledging them just a little bit. That's the narcissist. So he didn't see that he was lucky, that he was blessed to have a beauty queen by his side, and he devalued her so much that he didn't even feel that her life was worth her having. That's how low he had her. He had her so low that he felt like she didn't even deserve to live. He played God, and he took her life. And let me tell you something. When you're dealing with a narcissist, that's what they do. They play God. They believe that they are God. And when you're dealing with a bona fide narc, you will even hear them say that. You will even hear them say, look, I'm God, yo. I'm God. I'm Jesus. Okay, there's no man, there's no person above me. I'm the best that you can get, and ain't nothing better than this, baby. Ain't nothing better than this. Even though they a piece of shit on a stick, they feel like they are the shiznick. Okay, so they really condition their minds and everybody around them to believe that they are the Obi-Wan Kenobi. Okay, so they don't see value in nobody. When you're dealing, one thing I wanted to point out real quick, again, don't get offended if you have these signs, but one thing that I've been noticing about women who have sun sign Libra is that, just like women who have sun sign Libra, Pisces, and sun sign Libra, Pisces, Taurus, and Cancer. um can't think of anything else right now. But yeah, just those signs in general. I find that a lot of these women with these particular sun signs, or a lot of that energy within their chart, usually have a lot of problems in relationship. I'm not sure why, but I mean, if you talk to a lot of women who have sun sign Libra, you will hear a lot of them say that they have relationship problems. Okay, and I'm not really surprised, because Libra is connected to the seventh house, and the seventh house is connected to relationships. And if you know anything about relationships, relationships are pretty much something that you're going to experience in this life. You know what I mean? So whether you have a lot of money, whether you have it going on, Libra is a sign, it's an energy that you are going to, okay, good, that you are going to be dealing with some kind of form of relationship. So for whatever reason, I'm starting to notice that a lot of women who have sun sign Libra, they have a lot of relationship problems. Okay, and God forbid if they have elements in their chart that deals with things that will bring about relationship problems, it's going to be double that energy. So I'm not surprised that Gladys Ricart had problems with this dude in regards to relationships, because when I did the astrology on this beautiful woman, I believe that she loved art. So I wouldn't be surprised if, if she collected art, or she was fond of art, or she invested a lot of money into art. I wouldn't be surprised if she was the type of woman who went to like Pier 1 Imports, okay, or these fancy home places like home expos and stuff like that. Not only was she beautiful herself physically, but I'm almost for certain that her home was just as beautiful as how she looked. Okay. Another thing that I saw in her chart was that she may have dealt with things like voodoo, unfortunately. So she may have had people around her that was jealous of her beauty, and they may have been doing like witchcraft or voodoo on her. Um and she may have dealt with like bankruptcy and eviction. So she may have had at one time in her life, in the beginning, I would say like in her early childhood, she may have not been raised in a rich family, okay? Or she may have come across in her earlier years, not when you see her in this picture, but in her earlier years, she may have dealt with a lot of financial hardships. Another thing that I've saw in her chart is that I wouldn't be surprised if she dealt with things that had to do with the water. Okay, so she may have had like an incident where she came across to drowning, or she may have been afraid of like swimming or like any kind of water activities, or she may have had an incident. I wouldn't be surprised with Garcia, who she may have complained that he even choked her. Okay, something to do with how do you call it? Asphyxiation, or like when you're like losing your breath or something like that, like a choking or or snuffling or something with the pillow over the face or something like that. I wouldn't be surprised if she dealt with that from what I saw in her astrology. Um, so definitely a lot of falling in her life that she may have dealt with. So a lot of trial and error. She's definitely probably went through situations where she has fallen numerous times and had to learn from her mistakes, and she's made those mistakes over and over and over again. So I wouldn't be surprised if people in her family have said that, Gladys, she used to always come to us, she used to always complain about Garcia, how he was treating her bad and how he's cheating on her. She's caught him cheating on her so many times, and they've tried to counsel her, try to tell her, he's ugly, he's fat, he's overweight, he's out of shape. Yes, he has money, but you can get another man and you can build with him because you're a builder, because you've built yourself from the bottom on up. So, if you can get a man who's attractive, because I believe that the guy that she was going to marry, I believe that he was a good looking man, and I believe that he was better looking than her ex-boyfriend. Okay, that was another reason why he was so jealous, because I believe that the guy that she got with, because I never seen him, but I believe, this is what I believe, that he was very, very good looking. He was in shape. He was young. He was around her age. Versus Garcia, who was older than her. He was out of shape. He was mean. He was rude. He was disrespectful, and he was a cheater. And he was abusive. Okay, and he was tight fisted with money. He was cheap, and he didn't want to build. He didn't want to have a family. Okay, because he was so worried about money. This is what I got from his chart. Okay, and she was still young, and he wanted her to like be old. Okay, he wanted her to conform to this old ass lady, and he wanted her to dress down, and he wanted her to like really believe how he used to call her names and stuff. He wanted her to believe those names so she can morph into ugliness. And when you morph into that, that gives him security. When you're with a narcissist, that's what they do. They call you names and they tell you things, because if you start to believe it, that you're ugly, that you're fat, that you're disgusting, that you're worthless, and you're all these things that because they devalue you. So this is what they tell you. If you start to condition your mind and you believe that, guess what? You're going to physically form into that, because you're going to start to play that part, and you're going to start to physically display that, because this person that you love, you trust, you respect, and you honor as God, you believe that, and then you transform into that. That's what happens when you deal with a narcissist. Um, so he wanted her to fall into that, and he became jealous when he saw that she was no longer going to fall into his game. Okay, and she decided that she was no longer going to be with a cheater who was not only cheating on her, but he was disrespecting her. He was cheap as hell, and he didn't want to build, and he didn't want to have a family. And she realized that she was getting older, and life moves on, nigga, and you're not the last person on the block that I'ma pass, okay, on this path. And I got to go, homeboy. But see, he didn't want that. He didn't like it. He didn't respect it, and he felt rejected. And he got a narcissistic injury when she broke out on his ass. And he was devastated because he realized that when she bounced, the bitch that he was cheating on her with, he realized it wasn't even all that. So he fucked up and lost a fucking winner. And he was mad because she moved on with the next dude who loved and respected her and saw her for who she was. And he wasn't feeling that. And he was like, you know what, bitch? I'm going to get you. Because if you're not going to listen to me and you're not going to stay under my power and control, it's over. And he was going to end her life because he thought he was God, and he went against authority. And I'm going to go into that in a minute. Hopefully I can, because I think I've been talking for too long. Okay. And I'm going to have to take a break because I've been just wilding out. Hopefully you guys can still hear me. Um, but yeah, so she had sun in Libra. Like I said, a lot of Libra women for whatever reason have relationship problems. And then another thing that caught my attention is that I believe all of this is, I believe, this is not guarantee, okay, because I don't have a birth certificate and I don't know the time, but this is what I've gathered, is that she has 22 degrees in her relationship chart. Okay, 22 degrees in her relationship, 22 degrees in Libra, that's in connection with relationship. So if you know anything about 22 degrees, or if you heard through the grapevine, like I've done, like I've heard, 22 degrees is a do or die. It's a kill or be killed degree if you have that in your chart. And she had that. She had that not once but twice. She had that in a double placement in her chart. And she also had 22 degrees in Venus in Scorpio. And if you know anything about Venus, Venus is connected to love. Libra is connected to relationship. Scorpio is connected to sex. So if you have Libra, Venus, love, sex, and you have 22 degrees in these areas, then you know this is, I'm not surprised that an energy like this was warranted into her life, and she was dealing with a situation, you know, where it brought about this devastation. And that's the unfortunate part. Another thing I saw in Gladys Ricart's chart is that there's a good chance that she's went to college, or she's graduated some type of college or some type of program. She could have had a lot of mood swings too, I'm not gonna lie, because she got Mars in Cancer. Mars in Cancer, and I have a video on my line about that, is that this is the type of degree that I'm sorry, not degree, but this Mars in Cancer is the type of energy, if you're not careful, if you don't know, and if you have this in your chart and you don't know, you can bring about violence in your home, or violence can be brought to you in a home environment. So it makes sense that she had Sun in Libra, 22 degrees, Venus in Scorpio, 22 degrees, dealing with relationship, sex, and union. And then she had the Mars in Cancer on top of all of that, that brings about violence in the home. It makes so much sense as to why this happened. Okay. So it's a good chance that she was into art and she loved science. Something about science keeps coming up with her for some reason, even to the point where you ever heard like a song and it just keeps fucking playing over and over and over and over again in your head? I have that right now. Like, there's this song called Science. It's not the other Science, the quirky song. It's another deeper song. I think it goes back to the 70s, and I keep hearing it over and over and over again. It's driving me crazy, but I keep hearing it. So something about science with Gladys Ricart. I don't know what it is. If she wanted to go into science, or if she got good grades in science as a young child in school, or something about science with the medical. Something, it just keeps coming up with Gladys Ricart. So she had a life path number 5 real quick. If you know anything about life path number 5, these people love freedom. They don't like restriction, and they like to be free. They're very beautiful people. They have a Sagittarius type of energy, and they love nice things. They love beautiful things, and they just want to be free. And unfortunately, yeah, Garcia, he had that too, but he also, I believe, had the moon in Capricorn, which hopefully I could go into that. Like I said, I've been talking for a very long time. I don't know if I might have time to go into that because I've been talking for so long. I'm gonna have to take a break. But he had the moon in Capricorn. And I'm going to talk to you guys about that, because moon in Capricorn on the darkest side. Now, the disclaimer, let me go ahead and put the disclaimer real quick before there's a problem down the line. I'm talking about the dark side. I'm talking about a killer, a murderer, a creepo, okay? A shit show, a narcissist. So if you have these degrees, or if you have any of these signs, I'm not talking about you unless you fall into that category. Then, hey. But other than that, I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about homeboy and his wicked deeds and why this happened. This is what I'm talking about. So please don't put in the fucking comment section that you have this and you not about that. Because I'm not talking about you. This is not about you. So anyway, he has the moon in Capricorn, and she has a life path number 5. She has the moon in Leo. Um So if you have a person who has life path number 5, they have moon in Leo, she built herself from the ground up. Okay, she's a beautiful person. She was younger than him. Um, and you're dealing with a person in a relationship, if you're a woman or even if you're a man, and they have a moon in Capricorn, you got to understand that Capricorn is connected to Saturn. Okay, and Saturn is a restrictive energy. So when you have a person who has moon in Capricorn, or when you're dealing with a person who's older than you, or when you're dealing with a person who has Capricorn energy, such as a moon in Capricorn, I believe you got to understand, if you're in an intimate relationship with this person and they're a narcissist on top of all of that fuck up, you're gonna be dealing with a person who is on the dark side, guys, not the good side, because the good side is all to the good, it's popping and dropping. But on the darkest of the dark, and I said this before, I got a video on my line that's in private, but you can look it up. A lot of people who got moon in Capricorn, um killing is connected, murder connected, jealousy, um manipulation, insecurity, a lot of things to do with danger. Okay, wanting to have power and control over people with Moon and Capricorn on the darker side. Okay. You know what? I need to take a break. I've been talking way too much. I need to get up, stretch, and think, because I'm gonna get into some things, and I need to make sure. Okay, yeah. So I need a break. Plus I need a break. So give me a break. I'll be right back. Okay. All right. So I am back to attack on that ass. Let me just make sure everything is gravy. Okay, so we good. We are good. Okay, we are good. Gotta continue. I gotta continue. I know this is gonna be a long one, yo. It's gonna be a real, real long one. This is the disappointing part about this is because I had to find out some information, man, and I had to go deep on that ass, and I needed to find out what had happened. And I'm here to bring it, baby. I'm here to bring it because Gladys, you have been on my mind since the day that this happened, baby girl. And I know you want to know, like I want to know, and so many women and so many men, the family, everybody wants to know why a dirty creep was, why did he get away with this? How did he get beyond? How did this happen? Okay, because this creepo, he got through. He got through. And see, when you're dealing with demonic evil spirits and somebody has an evil mind, evil intentions, and it's just evil in their heart, you could be in a crowd full of a stadium full of people. And if you have somebody who has an evil mind, the evil eye. See, let me tell you something about the evil eye. The evil eye is not just about what I was saying before. And if somebody look at you, your shit gets destroyed, or you could lose your life, you could lose looks, you could lose money. When somebody has the evil eye, that's a radar, that's a laser, an invisible laser that they have that's focused upon you. Okay, they could be standing in a crowd full of people, but if they have the evil eye on you, all they see is you. And when they turn and they look at you, that evil eye, that invisible ray that nobody could see, is pointed directly at you. Okay, and all that energy goes upon you. That's what the evil eye is about. Let me tell you something. If you ain't know, I'm gonna tell you right now. That's what it's about. Okay, that's what the evil eye is. And sometimes, The evil eye can be so potent that the person can't really get to you, but their evil intentions and that evil focus that they have upon you is so potent that it could spiritually destroy you to the point where you physically become destroyed. Okay? And if they can't physically touch you and they have that evilness and that bitterness and that sour and that hatred and that disgusting poison inside of the spirit, all they got to do is look at you. All they got to do is look at your goods. All they got to do is hear about you getting a job, having a man, getting married, having a baby. That's all they need to hear and see, and your shit is going down to the ground. And don't nobody know why. It's because somebody around you got a evil motherfucking heart and spirit, and they destroying you, baby, from the inside and motherfucking out. Okay? And this is what I believe. This is why, let me, hopefully, uh, okay, let me put this here. This is why, this is my opinion, nobody else's, okay? I believe that this is, again, this is my opinion, so let's go ahead and keep it all the way 1,000. It's my opinion. This is not nobody else's. This is why I believe, and I meant to do a show on this too, is that I believe a lot of famous YouTubers, okay, have passed away. I think there was this guy, I forgot his name. What was his name? He had a weird name too. And he committed suicide, some black guy. Oh man, what was that dude's name, man? Let me see. Uh, what was his name? Yeah, let me see. Euteric or something like that. He just recently died too. Mm. Yeah, I forgot his name, man. That's the unfortunate thing. I want to bring him up too. I wanted to do a show about him. But anyway, I think you guys know what I'm talking about. I forgot his name though. He's a black guy. He had like a fade. He looked like he was from the 90s. He looked like he was young. He looked like he was in his early 30s or something like that, 20s or something like that. And he had positive energy. He was a positive person. I never really knew about the dude. I just heard about him through the grapevine, and I heard that another YouTuber had killed themselves over suicide. And I had kind of like briefly like heard about his story and stuff. Like I didn't really investigate him, but then I watched a video, that one of the last videos that he had made, and like I guess like the day that he committed suicide, and the energy that I had got from his video was that he died early. If it's true, okay, hopefully he's still alive and it's all a lie, because we don't want none of these things to happen. But if it is true, the energy that I had got when I saw him was that he's doing like what so many people are doing in the year of 2019, is that they faking a funk. Okay, they pretending like shit is gravy, and it's not, baby. It's not gravy. You know what I'm saying? They pretending like they living this life of luxury. They pretending that they happy. They pretending that they got the best relationship, the best family, the best of everything, and you should envy them. Okay? You should envy them. And they're pretending to the point where they're fucking lying to themselves. To the point where they can't even live in reality and they can't face reality. And the only way they're going to face reality is if they kill themselves or they commit suicide, or something tragic happens, and then they're really faced with reality, because they've been living this big fucking hocus pocus lie that they've been putting on the fucking Grammy award show for the public, so the public can be envious over them, and then really and truly they're fucking dying inside. because they're trying to put on this act and this lap of perfection on YouTube to garnish and warrant attention so other people could be envious and jealous of them. And really and truly and all in all, they dying inside because it's a lie. It's all a lie, baby. It's all a lie. It's all a lie. Their life is a fucking lie. But the act is gonna fuck them up. And when you put it thick out there like that, and you into the spiritual community, hopefully you guys are with me on this, and y'all into spirituality, and you thicken it down on you thicken it down on social media, and you got average folk that's fucked up in the game, and they mad every time they see you. They mad. They hate you, but they gotta watch you. They hate your fucking guts. They can't wait to see you fall. Let me tell you something. Your biggest fan is your enemy, not your friend, baby. Your friend don't want to see you shine. They don't watch your shows. They don't listen to you talk. They don't even want to see you walk. They want nothing to do with you. They don't know what you doing because they don't want to see nothing or hear nothing. That's your friend. They don't want nothing to do with you. Okay. Let me tell you who know more about you than your friend. It's your enemy, baby. Your enemy knows more about you than your friend, your mother, your father, your sister. And I wouldn't even be surprised if God, baby. I wouldn't even be surprised if they know more about you than God. Because that's how much your enemy is on that ass. Let me tell you something. Enemies, that's why it's an old saying. Keep your enemies close, but your friends, well, I don't know. Y'all know, just look it up. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Keep your enemies close type shit. Well, trust and believe. Your enemies, you keeping your enemies close, but guess what? Your your enemies is keeping you even closer, baby. They going to bed with you, they waking up with you, they taking showers with you, and you don't even know it. They doing all of this with you in the spirit. Your enemy is got you in a pocketbook. Okay? Every day, all day, they know more about you than you know about yourself. That's your enemy. And when you're dealing with an enemy who's on your ass like a backpack, let me tell you something. That's a person who got the evil eye and they concentrating on you. And the reason why they're concentrating on you is because they want to see you fall, baby. They want to see you crawl in life. That's your enemy. They want to see you crawling so they can feel good because they finally saw your ass fall. Okay? That's the evil eye. That's a narcissist. And sometimes, in these times, it can even be your man, your woman. Okay? So, anyway, real quick, going back to the evil eye. Yeah, see, I believe, real quick, I believe that, a lot of these famous YouTubers, yeah, they was flying all that. You know what I'm saying? They had a lot of, followers, they was a million, million followers plus. They was all to the good. Everybody was on their ass, like right on rice, baby. But I believe that these people left early in this life because of the evil eye. That's what I believe. That's my opinion. Nobody else's. So let me go back to Gladys Ricart. Going back, I believe that when you are in a relationship with a person who's a narcissist, they're your biggest enemy. And when you're in a relationship with them, just like the enemy, just like I just finished saying, they don't want you to go, but they don't want you to stay. Okay. Um, they don't want to help you rise. They want to see you fall. They don't want you to be happy. They want you to be miserable. They want you to believe in the lies that they tell you. They want to step over you in life and even in a relationship, baby. They do not like you. Even though they lay in the bed with you. That's why they say, sleeping with the enemy. That's a true saying, baby. A lot of people in this life are sleeping with the enemy. You want a lot of people that's going to listen to the show right now. Let me tell you something. You want to bed tonight. You want to sleep right in the bed right next to your enemy. That's what's going to happen. You think the enemy's outside? You got ADT, you got fucking I don't know what kind of the biggest alarm system in town. You got all kind of locks on your door. You hiding damn near under a rock every day of your life, and you're not even realizing you jumping right in the bed with your fucking enemy. You hide from everybody, but the enemy is right next to you, baby. Breathing down your motherfucking back, baby. They hate you, but they don't want you to go though. Stay right here. I'm got to sit next to you, girl, until you fall, baby. Till you fall. And I'm gonna cheat on you. I'm gonna treat you like shit. I'm gonna call you names. I can't stand you. I don't even want to be seen with you, but I just can't let you go, though. I can't let you go. Because remember, the narcissist is on some shit like, yo, you are fucking whack as fuck. You are disgusting. You stink. You fat. You ugly. You ain't shit. You broke. You a bum. You don't gotta everything they said. That's what they feel about you, but they don't want you to go. And then they like, damn, if you go and you find somebody else, then they go. The narcissist is like, yo, you gonna find somebody else, but yo, that person can't really be with you because I devalued you, and they can't see value in you, yo. They can't marry you because I already devalued you, and if they marry you, that's gonna fucking give me the narcissistic injury, and I'm gonna flip out and I'm gonna fucking body somebody because I already decreed this. I'm God. I already said you ain't shit, and nobody else should find any value in you. That's the narcissistic mentality. This is what I'm trying to tell y'all. This is how weird this shit gets. Okay. So anyway, homeboy has I believe a moon in Capricorn, and like I said, if you it's a dark sided if it's dark, baby, look it up. Don't believe what I say. Just look it up. Google.com. Type it in. It's your best friend. Challenge. But a moon in Capricorn, a lot of if the statistics shows that a lot of them commit crimes and they be bodying people on some shit because they be mad, jealous, and they insecure and they fucking are manipulators and they got a bad character. Okay, and she was dealing with somebody who was a dark side moon in Capricorn, and she realized that the nigga wasn't going to get no better, and she had to roll, or else she was going to find herself old and bitter and fucking mad at the world because she fucking stayed under this nigga's power and control, and he didn't want to see her rise. So she had to roll, yo. She had to roll, and she rolled, and she got hooked up with somebody else, and this nigga was pissed. Okay. And the bitch he was fucking, he ain't like her after a while because it was no challenge. See, because when you're dealing with a narcissist, they triangulate you, and if there's no challenge, and you're not fighting over their dirty dick, then they mad, you know, because it is, that's how it is. So when a person moon is in a water sign, like a Pisces, for example, a Cancer, or even sometimes Scorpio, but not all the time, if a person has a moon in a water sign, I'm just gonna go ahead and give you an example. Then when on the dark side, they're gonna inflict pain on themselves, okay? And when they suffer from depression, then they're not really gonna afflict you if they have a moon in the water sign. I'm just trying to give you an example of what she was dealing with. Okay. So a person who has a moon in a water sign, they're going to afflict themselves. Most likely, they're going to fall into a deep depression. And one of the ways that they're going to afflict themselves is by drinking and drugging, or putting themselves into a situation where they're going to be so angry they're going to jump in the car and they're going to get into an accident, and then they're going to be in the hospital, and then before you know, they got stitches on their head, stitches on their legs, stitches on their arms, because they were emotionally driving and they got into an accident, and then that's what caused them scars. So I wouldn't be surprised if people who have moon in water signs, I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of them have scars. Okay, scars on their face, scars on their arms, some type of scarring with people with moon and water signs. For some reason, it kept coming up, or something with the teeth too. Moon and water signs. People with moon and water signs, also another thing that you may find is that a lot of them have thoughts of suicide. Okay. Or you'll even say that, it was a time in my life where I was so depressed, if they have a moon and a water sign, where I wanted to take my life because, the person that they were in love with, or, life was so hard for them that, they wanted to just end their life because they were so fed up and they were sympathetic. I mean, they didn't want to cause harm against another person. People with moon and water signs, they don't really want to. I mean, unless it's dark, because they have the dark side where they just be going around and they Jeffrey Dahmering people, okay, and cutting people up and putting them in the refrigerator and going out to lunch. They got moon and water signs people that do that, but the average moon and water signs, they don't really do that. Most of the time they just going to do it to themselves, and then they just going to take themselves out because they want people to feel like sad because they killed themselves, and then that's just going to cause you another harm. So that's the moon and water signs. But when you're dealing with a moon and an earth sign, like a moon in Capricorn that I believe that her man had, I'm going to go into the darkness of what she may have been dealing with. So another example, if you have a moon in a fire sign, this is just another example, guys. If you're in a relationship with and let me tell you another thing too, real quick, because I know I've been babbling and jabbling and I'm all over the place. Hold me down. If you are trying to get married to somebody, build a relationship with this person, and you try to rise in life, and you don't want to deal with a enemy in your bed, just check out their moon sign right quick. Real talk, check that out on the real to real. Let me tell you something about the moon sign, baby. The moon sign is a good sign to study because the moon is the emotional side of the person. And however their emotion is how they're physically going to be. So if somebody has a moon in a sign that's fucked up and their Mars is in a sign that's fucked up, guess what? If they get into an emotional uproar and they have a sun sign that is impulsive, because his sun sign is an Aries, she's a sun sign Libra. Let me tell you another thing really quickly about that. Sun sign, Aries, and Libra, that's a good relationship combination. So I'm not surprised that they stood in a relationship as long as they did. That's a good relationship combination. But as you see, it didn't last long because there was other things in the chart that didn't warrant a relationship that would last or should have lasted that long because his ass was toxic. And she knew it after a lot of trials and tribulations and a lot of hardship that she had to deal with, homeboy. But if you want to get into a long relationship with somebody, you want to build, have children, and you want to, grow old with this person, live with them through sickness and health, it's good to grow with folk. It's good. It's not good to be changing people like panties. It ain't good. That ain't good. So if you want to find a long lasting partner, check out their moon sign, guys. Because if the person has a moon of fire or air, there's a good chance that you're going to be dealing with a person who's going to be blaming everything on you. Okay, if they drop their pen, it's your fault because they're gonna say you had the evil eye and you was looking at them too hard, and this is why the pen dropped, or they tripped on the stairs. If they was late to work because they went to bed at 5 o'clock and they had to get up at 6, it's your fault. If they get fired, they gonna come home and fight with you because it's your fault. So people with moon and fire and air signs, a lot of the affliction and pain is going to be you. You're going to be the one that they're blaming and fighting. But if this person has a moon and an earth sign, like a Capricorn, for example, that's on the dark side. Let me repeat this: dark side, not the good side. Okay, I'm talking about the evil side, not the best side, not the wicked side. I don't give a fuck about what nobody else says because it's the creep side of me. This is the side that I'm talking about. So, for the love of God, please, if you have Moon in Capricorn, please do not put yourself in this category. This is the darkest of the dark. This is the narcissism. You know what? As a matter of fact, I should just start naming this dark side, narcissistic, moon, sun, and whatever sides. Because if you're not a narcissist, then this ain't gonna apply to you. I don't give a fuck what moon sign you got. But if you a moon in Capricorn and you're a narcissist, let me go ahead and give you the drop down of what homegirl had to deal with. Homeboy was a very, very cold hearted person. Okay. He was the type of person that, when you see him, he looks very successful, because if you know anything about Capricorn, and I have Capricorn in my chart too, so I know I got this problem. But if you know anything about the Capricorn sign, when they when you see them, you see success. Because they put their best foot forward. Okay? And they take a lot of pride and they work very hard. Capricorn, the Capricorn energy, whether it's the sun, moon, Mars, or whatever, Venus, whatever, they put a lot of energy and pride and trials and tribulations, falling and getting up and being beat down. People are jealous of them. They working hard. They gonna build from the ground up. They gonna build a casino on that ass. This is Capricorn. So when you see people who have moon in Capricorn, yes, they know that they got to play the part, baby. They got to play the part. And you know what? Let me close this door because this is ridiculous. Hold on. Wow, that was a lot of noise. Okay. New York is real. New York is real. Okay. So anyway, let's go back. Okay. So anyway, yeah. So homeboy, he got the moon in Capricorn. And she was going through trials and tribulations. Poor baby girl. Whew, she got out of it, but look what happened. He came after her. So yeah, so he had the moon in Capricorn, and the dark side, the sinister side, the evil side. And again, look it up. Moon in Capricorn, that's one of the signs where there's a lot of people in jail who commit homicide. They have the moon in Capricorn. And the reason for that is because they're not like the moon and water signs that are gentle. They're soft and they're sympathetic and they're empathetic, and they love people, and the love that they have for people, unfortunately, they afflict that pain on themselves, and because they have so much love for people, moon and water sign people. But moon and earth sign people, especially in the Capricorn, and if you know anything, if you know about tarot, or if you know about the Capricorn sign, the Capricorn deals with the devil. So if a person has moon in Capricorn, that's the emotion. Okay, so they're very, very cold-hearted. Okay, but they know that they got to play the part in order to get people in, or to give this fake persona that they cool, but they not really cool. Okay, so they're good at putting on a show. So I wouldn't be surprised if Gladys was consistently, telling people, this nigga's a creep, he ain't shit, he been dogging me, he's fucking me up, he calling me names. And a lot of people didn't really believe her, because every time they had saw her ex-boyfriend, he was successful, he had money, he looked and he played the part of success, and bitches was like, girl, if I was you, I would eat that up. So what if he called you names, girl? So what if he cheat on you? Keep driving a Bentley, girl. Some women believe that. Some women will trade their happiness and their dignity and their sanctuary just to be with somebody who got money and plays the part, but they're dying inside because they want to fucking look glamorous, and they want to show off, and they want other people to envy them. So they're willing to be with this rich man that they know all these women want a rich man too. And he comes out like the devil himself, the moon in Capricorn on the dark side, and he's putting on this fake, and he's laughing and he's beguiling, and every time you see him, he has a smile. He's constantly fucking laughing. I wouldn't be surprised if her family said that her ex-boyfriend, the killer, I wouldn't be surprised if they said that he was the type of man that everybody who knew of him thought that he was a nice guy. Okay, and they was very shocked when they found out that he killed her, because every time that they was around him, all they remember was that he was such a nice guy and he was always laughing. He always had a smile on his face. Every time they saw him, he had a smile on his face. Every time. Moon and Capricorn. Every time. Every time they saw him, he had a smile on his face. Dark side, moon and Capricorn. That's how they capture people. Every time they saw him, he laughed. Or he had a laugh about him. He was always laughing. Every time. And when you are dealing with a con artist or a manipulator, that's one of their tricks. They know that. This is something that, let me tell you something. People who are good manipulators and con artists, they study people. They know about people. And they know the things that they have to say and do in order to capture people, in order to get these people so close or so comfortable to the point where they invest in the narcissist, or they invest in this image, this fake show, so they don't really know what's going on. Like, let me look at this picture real quick. Real talk, look at this picture. If, let's say, if he never did what he did and you looked at this picture, you would see a man who's smiling and beguiling, and I'm sure he was laughing that day. And you would see a woman who was not really laughing, okay? And she's like, look at these motherfuckers. They're so dumb. They don't even know this motherfucker is evil. She wasn't really laughing when he was laughing, because she knows that he was putting on a show and it was all an act, and people really didn't know him like that. But she knew him like that. This is what I'm getting from this picture. And when you're dealing with a moon in Capricorn, and they're a liar and a manipulator and a scam, and they're a narcissist, they know how to put on a show in front of folk to make you look like you're bitter, you're mad, you're angry all the time, and they're just having a good time, and you're miserable, and they just, everybody is like, bitch, you just should be happy because your husband is rich, you got money, he's always happy when we see him, he's always laughing, smiling and beguiling, and you're looking miserable. And this is the moon in Capricorn on the dark side. This is what they do. So they really, really know how to put on an act. And the people who's in a partnership with them, they know that they're nothing but a wolf in sheep clothing. Okay, on the dark side, not on the good side. If you have this, people with the moon in Capricorn, they like to diss people and put them down, and they're extremely, extremely. Let me tell you something. I've researched this. This is not something I'm making up, and it's true that people with moon in Capricorn are extremely controlling people. Okay, and they want to control everything, everything about you. They want to control even how you think. They want to control how you respond. Okay, they want to control even just your daily activities. And I'm going to do a show coming up soon about narcissists and isolation, because I believe that this man is a narcissist. Um, and I believe that he was trying to control Gladys Ricart, and he was a manipulator, and he was very mentally, emotionally, and I would not be surprised if he tried to choke her, because I saw that in the astrology chart. He was very, very controlling. Okay. People with moon in Capricorn like to hold people hostage. And like I said, I'm going to do a show about narcissism and isolation that deals with holding people hostage. Okay. And I'm going to be connecting the movie The People Under the Stairs and Flowers in the Attic. I'm going to incorporate that in my video when I do the narcissist and isolation, because and this is something serious that a lot of people need to know. When you're dealing with a narcissistic parent, a narcissist that you're in a relationship with, these people like to hold you hostage. So a lot of people, and I don't mean to get off topic, but a lot of children or a lot of people that are even adults, and they've realized that, their mother or their father was a narcissist. I wouldn't be surprised if you hear them say that their narcissistic mother or father hardly ever took them out. They had to stay in the house all the time. They couldn't hang out with their friends. Every time they wanted to go out with their mother or father, it was an excuse, just like the people under the stairs, that they couldn't go out, but they saw that the narcissistic parent went out and they were stuck under those stairs. Um, that when you're dealing with a narcissistic person and they're dealing with isolation and holding people hostage, what they will do is they will get everything that you will ever need, and they will actually build a store in the home. So they will have extra toothpaste, toothbrush, soaps, laundry detergent, snacks, food, entertainment, clothes. They would even have tutors come to the house. Narcissistic parents are so deep, and I'm not going to go into it right now, but I'm just going to give you a little icing about what I'm going to go into when I talk about the people under the stairs and the flowers in the attic. And you're dealing with a narcissistic parent and they're dealing with hostage and isolation. These are the types of parents that they don't even want their kids to go to school, okay? Because they have conditioned their child to believe that even the teacher is after them, the kids their age are after them. If they step out the house, something is going to happen to them. So in order to protect them, they, they have to be homeschooled. Okay, and then before you know it, you have the tutor coming to the house and teaching you, because you're so fucking isolated that you can't even integrate with kids your own age at school, because you're dealing with a narcissistic parent who wants to hold you hostage. And then before you know it, you've never went to school, you have no social skills, you're socially awkward, and you're afraid to deal with people. And then before you know it, you're extremely introverted, even though you're naturally extroverted. But you, over time, have been so conditioned to be afraid of people in your own peer group because your narcissistic parent isolated and held you hostage, that you are not even able to function in the world. But your narcissistic parent can, but not you. And when you're dealing with a narcissist and you're in a relationship with them, whether it's a relationship as a parent or a relationship as a husband or a wife or a girlfriend or a boyfriend, in the beginning they do want to be with you. In the beginning they do want to show you off, they take you out and all this, but eventually you will find that you're no longer going out. They're so disgusted and embarrassed of the way that you look, that before you know it, they don't even want to go out with you. And then before you know it, you're in the house. And then, this goes deep, guys, because if you're dealing with a person who's a narcissist and they're a man or a woman, sometimes they'll get you to the point where they overwhelm you with these children, or you're like this mother who has all these adopted children, all these foster kids, or you're consistently getting pregnant and you can't leave the house, and they're out and you're home, and then the excuse is that the daycare is too much money, or the car is not big enough to hold you and the children that they gave you. And or they're going to a party or an event and there's not enough tickets for you. And then before you know it, you're in the house, in the home, and you're consistently there because they're holding you hostage. Okay, and you're not mentally getting what the programming is about. Okay, and they're programming you, and before you know it, you're going to find yourself like the people under the stairs, or like the children, like the flowers in the attic. This is what real narcissism is, okay? So if you're dealing with a person who has moon in Capricorn, they have the ability to do these things. Okay. So they have the ability to hold people hostage or be so tight fisted with money that they can even control you in regards to money. So you might find yourself in a relationship with this person, and then in the beginning, and you were attracted to them because they have the Mercedes Benz, they got the Bentley, they got the mansion, they got money, they got tickets to the NBA ball game, or they got fine dinners, and you're attracted to all of that, but you don't realize. Okay, you're playing into the game because there's a lot of women out there, even on YouTube. They're pretending that they're living this life of luxury and they want other women to be jealous of them because they so called are with a rich man. But really and truly, this motherfucker is a fucking psychopath, and he gives her a little bit to nothing, but she got the keys to the Benz, but she don't got no money in her pocket. Or he got control of the bank account, but she's playing a part, but she's not really living it because he ain't giving her no bread, and she can't really go if she wanted to because he got her in the house so tough that the only thing that she can do is go on YouTube and pretend that she's living this life of luxury so all the women can be jealous of her, and really and truly she's not free. She's held in hostage because he's so tight-fisted. Okay? Um So yeah, Moon and Capricorn people on the dark side can be extremely materialistic. They do like nice clothes. They like things that look good, but they look good, but the people around them suffer. Okay. And when you're dealing with a narcissistic person, that's what happens to people. I don't think nobody really got into that narcissistic people, they get you there. Okay. They wheel you into paradise, and you're standing in paradise, but you're a fucking bum there. Basically, you're a bum in paradise, but they're shining though, baby. They're shining. Um, and they look good. They smell good, but everybody around them is suffering. But they're so programmed and so mentally fucked that they're making excuses to why they're suffering or why they need to suffer in order for the narcissist to look and smell and be good. Okay. Um, So again, I won't be surprised if people have got this image from when she was in the relationship with homeboy, and they really just wasn't understanding like why you want to leave him, because this is a woman's dream, girl. This man got everything another woman would want, and they wasn't trying to. They didn't understand it. They didn't understand why she wanted to be with Julio, who was working at McDonald's, but he was a king in her heart. And this other guy looked like a king, but he was fucking a weird. He was a devil. Another thing with people with Moon and Capricorn, real quick, I'm gonna say this, and I'm about to end it because I've been talking way too long on that ass. Another thing with Moon and Capricorn people is that they love to brag. They love to brag, and they love to talk about how they're the CEO or they're some type of leader of a business or a company or some type of platform where they're in control. Okay. Or another thing too, a lot of people with Moon and Capricorn on the dark side, they go into industries and they have a lot of government jobs. Okay, government jobs where they can actually abuse the people with their power. Okay, and they get to boss people around. Okay, and they're consistently saying to these people how they're a low life, they're not on their level, and how they need to get their shit together. The Moon and Capricorn people, they may talk about how they work for social service, and how these people are low life, and how they talk about these people, or they're constantly looking down on these people. And if you have a person who has a Moon and Capricorn, they're on the dark side and they're narcissists, you're going to get a lot of that from them. And when you're dealing with a person who is that fucked up, they take their job home with them. Okay. And if you're in a relationship with somebody who is a narcissist and they have a dark side, whatever moon sign it is, and they're dealing in a situation where they have a job or some type of leadership or business where they're dealing with power and control, they're going to come home, baby. They're going to come on home. And that attitude is not going to stop at the job. It's going to come home with them. And they're going to be doing you just the same. Just the same. So people with dark side moon and Capricorn, they can be extremely jealous of people who are ahead of them or who they think is going to be ahead of them, and as a result they become angry, okay? And they look and they think of ways to retaliate against those people. And if you get out, if you get from under the stairs, if you crawl down from that attic, baby, that they've planted flowers in, and you finally escape from their mental, spiritual, and physical and emotional prison, and you get out and you get healed and you get rescued in the name of the Father and the Son and the Holy Ghost and the Spirit, baby. And you got angels that's helping you get out of there. Guess what? That motherfucking narcissist is gonna be injured like a motherfucker, and they gonna be mad and they gonna be pissed because they not gonna understand. They not gonna even understand. They're gonna be like, God damn, baby. I cheated on you. I treated you like shit. I called you every name on the block. I devalued you. I didn't see anything good in you. I hated being with you. I was your enemy in the bed, girl. Or man, I just couldn't stand you. I mean, you was so disgusting to me. I stopped fucking you. They're not gonna understand that why you just didn't want to continue to do that with them no more. They're not gonna really understand it. They're gonna be like, they not gonna really get why you just didn't want to fuck with them after that. After all of that, they're gonna be like, yo, you didn't want the little bit that I had left for you, girl or man. They're gonna be like, you left him with Johnny. Johnny be good. You left with him. They not gonna understand it. All they gonna understand is, my God, I fucked up. And this person is no longer under my power and control anymore, and I'm losing it. That's all they gonna know. And they not gonna even understand. But anyway, I'm about to end this show. Real talk. Because I've been talking way too long. I'm tired now. But let me go ahead and cover some things. Look what happened. Look what happened to baby girl. Look what happened to her. This was her at the wedding. She was getting prepared, baby. She was getting prepared to move on. And homeboy wasn't feeling it. He didn't understand it. He wasn't getting it. He didn't understand that she didn't want to be with him no more. He didn't get it. He was like, damn, yo, I cheated on you. I treated you like shit. I ain't give you no money. You know, he was like, damn, I thought I was the best, baby. I'm God in my eyes. He didn't get it. Let me tell you something real quick. I'm about to go. I looked at his astrology chart, and some of the things that I did see was that he had a lot of degrees that had to do with homicide, and he had a double degree that had to deal with the beginning and the end in regards to relationship. Also in his chart, he had things to that was connected to lawsuits, issues with gambling, cheating and seduction, Scrooge like behavior, unhealthiness. He was attracted to beautiful things, no doubt, and I saw that in his chart. He was attracted to beautiful women, nice things, and he was a hard worker, and he did build himself from the ground up. I wouldn't be surprised if people said that about him. He's good chance that he wasn't born from a rich family. He built himself up because that moon in Capricorn, that Capricorn energy. One thing that Capricorns, they can have a quarter in their pocket and turn around and have $250,000. Okay, that's the Capricorn. Um, so he had a sun in Aries, and his degree, unfortunately, it lacked stability. It also incorporated cheating and had a lot of problems with instability in relationship, and he was impulsive. His moon, I believe, was in Capricorn, and according to his degree, It did bring about the energy of prison, alcoholism, illusion, and murder. He had Venus in Pisces, guys. If you know anything about Venus and Pisces, and I've said this before, people who have Venus and Pisces on the dark side, they do love to cheat and they do go through a lot of relationships, because the reason why people with Venus and Pisces go through so many relationships is because they're looking for that fantasy. And when you first get with somebody, it's that fresh feeling, it's that excitement that you have when you get ready to see your man or your woman. That first feeling that you have when you first date somebody. You know what I mean? After a while, when you're dating somebody for like 5 years, 10 years, you no longer are getting prepared for that person. You're no longer in the mirror for hours. You're no longer investing in your outfits. You're farting, you're burping, you're shitting in front of your partner. People with Venus and Pisces, they're always looking for that freshness. So people with Venus and Pisces, they're into polygamy. They're into having a lot of relationships. If they're on the dark side, if they don't know anything about their energy, they're going to do this to their partner, and they're going to want their partner to understand and accept it. And they're not going to understand why they're not feeling it. He also had Mars in Scorpio, guys. Check that out. He had Mars in Scorpio, and he had it in a degree that brought about loss, perversion, loss of self control, rude and vulgar behavior. I believe that his Saturn was in Libra, and I did talk about the fact that her sun was in Libra. Let me tell you something real quick, and I'm about to go. I got to get out of here because I've been talking way too long, but I have a lot of information. I'm not going to go into it. People who have Saturn in whatever sign, Moon in whatever sign, and Venus in whatever sign, you will find that if you, let's say, for example, if you, like, he has Saturn in Libra, I'm not surprised that he got with a woman who had her sun in Libra, because that was his lesson in his life. That was that Saturn. His lesson in his life was to most likely get with a woman who had the sun in Libra or some type of Libra in her chart. And his lesson in his life was to go against all of this darkness, to go against his Venus and Pisces that dealt with cheating and manipulation and having fantasies with all these women and want his woman to accept it with a smile on her face and with cotton in her pocket and just be cool with it. His lesson in his life with Saturn being in Libra was to understand his dark side and to bring about stability in his relationship and be grateful that God introduced such a beautiful woman in his life. Because really and truly, homeboy, you really wasn't all of that, homeboy. On the real to real. Keeping it all the way 1,000. Homeboy, you wasn't all of that. And I bet you $1,000, okay, that her new man that she was married, he looked 1,000 times better than you, baby boy. And that's why you was jealous of her, because she no longer fucked with you and fell into your manipulation. So I'm gonna go ahead and end it, because like I said, I've been talking way too long, but I do have a lot of information here, and it makes sense. It really, really does make sense, man. It really makes sense, yo. This is why I love astrology, because when you could put the spiritual puzzle together, okay, and you are able to see beyond the veil, beyond the show, beyond the act, beyond the fake laughter and the smiles that people put on their face. That's really a fucking smile, but an upside, turn it around is really a frown. Remember that song? It's some kind of R&B song or something like that. That's what astrology is. It's getting through the fluff and the puff that these people put on in this world. And it's sad because baby girl, baby girl. But hopefully she's in a better place, because this place here on this planet is wicked. There's a lot of people who are pretenders, they're fake, and they just ain't about that, baby. They just ain't about that. They faking hard. It's getting worse, actually. In the year 2019, it's getting worse. It's getting real bad out here. I mean, this is why you see so many people on dating websites. They're going from relationship to relationship to relationship. I've talked to people since I've been here, and even men I've been talking to. And let me tell you something. These men, they have good jobs. They look great. But they're telling me they're having a hard time finding a decent woman. Okay, we already know the women complain. Women always complain about how there's no good men and this, and we heard it all before, baby girl. We heard it all before. But when you start to hear men saying this, then you know it's a problem. Okay? So I'm gonna be out. Thank you guys for listening. Whoever listened, I really appreciate it. Gladys Ricart, rest in peace, baby girl. And your homeboy, as far as I know, he got prostate cancer, so he's going down.